Freeze. On the subject of North Sydney Club, Tommy Bishop is the last in a long line of coaches who've aged prematurely trying to turn the North Sydney players from koalas into grizzlies. Tommy is with me, and in 1973 you turned a young team of men from Cronulla into frenzied killer sharks who gave the ultimate winner, Manly, the toughest match of the season and a big fright before they won 10-7. Why couldn't you do the same with the North Sydney boys?
Well, one of the big things, Rex, was I was still playing then. I was a captain coach. Probably if North Sydney would have had a captain coach this year, it could have been a lot better. They lacked an inspiring leader. But also in '73 we had a very young side with players the calibre of Rogers, Greg Pearce and Ken Madison and Cliff Watson. And it was a pretty good side. It was just the start of Cronulla, that was. And I knew in the week leading up to that particular game that we was in with a big chance.
But you turned them into almost supermen that day, Tommy. They, you know, that's one of the toughest and roughest, and even, shall we say, well, bordering on the, you know, non-rugby league games that I've ever seen.
Well, I think grand finals always are, and you've got to expect and put as much into it as you can.
Well, was there that much difference between a group of 13 players and another group of 13 players?
Yes, there was. At Cronulla, that the boys, as I said, there was good players. I'm not knocking the North Sydney players by that, but we were short of a few top-line players there. And I think North Sydney have, over the years, got so far and yet become losers because they just don't have that little bit at the finish.
Is there something in the club, Tom? I mean, you've been there. Is there something in the some deep rift in the executive which filters down to the players?
I think so. They've always been losers, and I think it's psychologically in the back of the mind that they are. There is a faction there for sure. There's a power struggle. Hopefully Ron Willie can overcome that, and I hope he does, because that is a big problem.
Well, you had, would you say, an unhappy year there? I think you aged during the season.
Yeah, it was very unhappy. We by the same token, we had about 10 games where in the last 10 minutes we had the games won.
But North do seem to invent ways to lose, don't they?
Well, there's a different one every week, and it was amazing how it kept coming up. Did
you leave or were you pushed?
No, I had quite a few problems. The travelling from Cronulla was a big problem. And also...
But you knew that when you took it on, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. But I didn't really believe that would be a problem, and it turned out it was.
Travelling backwards and forwards when you're a loser is different to travelling backwards and forwards when you're a winner, is it?
Well, that might have been a bit too, but I believe as a coach you've got to be on tap to be able to get individual players, get them down on the paddock, away from training, try and iron things out which you've got to do, like, you know.
Well, Tommy, have you got any words of wisdom for Ron Willie in 1980? He's taken the mantle of coach.
Well, maybe if I had that answer, I'd have stayed there. I think Ron's got to be very strong. He's got to take control of the whole situation. He does need an inspiring leader. That's the big thing. I think North Sydney have got to get a good captain who can play a bit of football himself and be on the field there. Because they have got a lot of good young players. Young McCaffrey. Unfortunately, lost Paul McCabe through, I believe, bad management. But they do need an inspiring leader, a fellow who's going to be on the paddock showing him the way. Because, as I've just stated, they have got some good players there.
And Tommy, your future in 1980, will it be the coach of the Cronulla Sharks?
Well, I've had a proposal put to me, Rex, and I think I'll be in football again next year.
Which is another way of saying you'll be coaching Cronulla, is it?
Well, you said that, not me.
All right, I said that, not him. Thanks, Tommy Bishop, for coming on. Now.